The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey, remember, is it W, the Ibis House? Remember the Ibis
Yes.
House?
In Aloo, I think.
In Aloo. So it's just around the Cedric Street entry or exit, whichever way you see, around sort of near IKEA sort of thing. There was a house there and it was called the Ibis House. Have you guys ever heard of the Ibis House, Bella? Have you?
I haven't.
Sam, have you heard of the Ibis House? Okay, so it was this house, it was sort of on the corner and it was just covered in bin chickens. And they were everywhere. And the rumour was it was that the woman was feeding them.
Well, you would imagine so. Why would they go to one house in particular?
And literally there would be hundreds on top of the house and in the yard, and they would not even step a foot into the yard next door.
It's going to keep people away. You're not going to get door knockers. Do you know what I mean? If your house is covered in ibis.
Yeah. So this is insane. A woman in the US, she 10 years ago started feeding a family of raccoons, and now it has grown into a size where they've infested a backyard. There are now hundreds.
So that family's bred and also told their raccoon friends, hey, free food. Just like Shaun would do.
It drove her out of a house.
Oh.
And
so now they own property.
Yeah, so then the wildlife operators, they had to remove the raccoons and get the homeowner back into her property, but they're saying that because, of course, the raccoons have been, their friends have been told about this is where you get free food, they're probably going to just come back.
Well, squatters' rights in the US are full on.
That's right.
Yeah, and it really throws up the idea of when people tell you not to feed the wildlife, what can possibly happen.
Yes.
When I was in Amsterdam and we were staying on a houseboat, there was a sign there saying, don't feed the swans, and we're like, whatever. So we started feeding the swans, and every morning we were getting woken up by just dozens of ferocious swans pecking at the windows with their beaks.
You know why? Because they've come straight out of the cafe, starving.
I know where we get a free feed.
They just had a giant joint. Bella works with us here. She answers the phones. We're talking about people feeding wildlife and what can go wrong. What happened with your friends?
So my friend just bought a house out in the hills, like Kalamunda Way, and they moved in and they started hearing all of these like noises in the walls, in the ceilings. Anyway, it turns out the old lady who was living there before must have been like feeding the possums. So they have a possum infestation like in the ceiling. In like 20.
Oh, that's a lot of possums. Like one possum makes a lot of noise.
And they have been like pulling out all of the like insulation, like taking over.
Wiring, everything.
It's crazy. You walk into this one room that they like don't use, they can't use, and it literally smells like the zoo.
Oh, wow. So what are they doing to get rid of it?
Well, they got quoted, so they have to get professionally removed because they're like native wildlife.
Yes.
$20,000.
To remove the possums.
20 possums, though.
This is the thing when you're buying a house, how would you ever think that there was the owner beforehand was feeding possums there in the roof?
Probably go in that room that smells like the zoo.
Wow, yeah, that'd be a giveaway.
So they're buying or renting?
Buying.
So did they notice the possum problem
before? They didn't notice it. But when they moved in, my friend said she was literally like laying in bed.
Yeah,
one
they
night
wouldn't have done
herself.
any home opens at night, put it that way.
Yeah, and she just heard this like scratching in the walls, and like they fight in the ceiling. And have you heard possums fight?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Wild.
Yeah,
So
nunchucks, everything.
So are they supposed to disclose certain things about a home? Or do they
that
not
would be
have
a due
to?
diligence thing, I would think, about like that.
That doesn't seem legal.
Well, you can get an inspection done.
Yes, that's right.
And
You'd
most
think that
people
would
do,
show
but
up
they
in
look
the
for,
inspection because they
white
look in the
ants and
ceiling.
stuff like that.
They do look in the ceiling
They do
usually,
look in
don't
the
they?
ceiling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel it may have been like a private sale thing, like a, site.
I hope they got a good deal.
That's a stitch
Look,
up.
we want to talk about the perils of feeding the wildlife.
Yes. Have you fed the wildlife?
There's
and
a
now do
reason
you
they tell us not
understand?
to.
Now you understand why it's not allowed?
When I was in America, I was doing a road trip in the deep south, and we were somewhere in rural Texas, and there was a drive-through wildlife sanctuary.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're
In
like...
Texas.
In Texas, right? So we're like...
That's very
let's do
Tiger
that.
King, isn't it?
We'll do this. But there were no wild animals like that.
No.
But they give you a bag of pellets.
Yeah.
And the very clear instructions. They're like, don't feed them from your hand.
Yeah.
what you need to do is throw the pellets on the ground, and the animals will come up to you. And we're like, oh, that's cute. And then we drive in. The first thing in the rental car, first thing we do is we see baby deer. It's like Bambi, like the wet-nosed little baby deer, and they're putting their nose up. And so the first thing I did was feed them from my hand, and the baby deer then jumped up with its little baby deer hooves and went scratch all the way down the door panel of the rental car.
Oh, Natalie. What happened?
No, we just made sure it was super clean and dropped it off really quickly. And the guy, when we dropped it off at Dallas Airport, did not look very closely at it.
All
and we did not bring it to his attention.
You park it near a wall.
Yes,
really close to a wall.
He did the most casual lap of the car you've ever seen, and we're like, great, thanks, see you later.
Yeah, we are going to find out why it's not a good idea when they tell you not to feed the wildlife. Hi, Jess.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, Jess.
What happened?
It's my auntie.
Yeah.
She was feeding magpies in her yard.
Yes.
And the swarm grew to about 8, and then they decided she wasn't feeding them enough. So now if she ever goes outside with food, they take it from her hand. Or if they're sitting at their back table trying to have barbecue or whatever, they just swarm the table and go nuts. So now she can't eat outside.
Because the magpies want whatever she's having. Yeah. But you want the magpies on your side because it's sweeping season right now.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the toughest bird to have an issue with.
It is. Because they actually do have memory.
You do.
Yeah,
so,
they do.
So really,
they remember faces.
Really, the only thing to do is to let them have the backyard.
Hand it over. Yeah.
Magpies the scariest thing growing up. Magpies were the most scariest bird.
Like I've been swooped in and it like drew blood. Yeah. On my temple. Came from behind, bang, straight into my temple.
But think about this. You can never have a backyard barbecue.
No, that's right. Nothing. Well, you can, but you can only invite magpies.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jess. Robert's in Caversham. Hi, Rob.
How are you? How are you?
Good, Rob. That was the best intro ever, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for caring. Now, talk to us about the perils of feeding wild animals.
Okay, we've been living at a place for 16 years and we've never noticed that our neighbours had peacocks.
Yes.
Well, one morning we finally got an introduction.
Yeah.
A beautiful, we didn't know at the time, males are the beautiful ones that fan out.
Yes.
And we wake up, we come outside for the first time, there's this beautiful peacock fanning its lovely feathers, and we said, oh my God, how do we get and make sure this happens every morning? So we decide to feed this peacock. Well, of course, it comes back every morning thinking this is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Well, not knowing there's also a female that comes with a male.
Oh. Yes.
Yes. Well, hidingly, this female had other eggs, which were other peacocks.
Yes.
Cut a long story short, we've now got 20 peacocks that come to our house, not knowing that peacocks, they absolutely crap 10 to 15 times each.
No.
And they crap on everything. I'm talking your front doorway, on your windowsill, your car, your trampoline, your pool.
Not the trampoline.
Oh, yeah, not the trampoline. Well, that's what the kids keep saying. Please, Dad, not the trampoline.
Robert, are you in the car right now? Is that where you are?
Yeah.
Who's there laughing their head off?
With you?
I've got my partner. I've got my 2 children who refuse to get out the car to go to school to listen to this truth.
Because all I'm saying is your partner, she's pissing herself laughing. And
through the window.
And so you can't stop because that'll make them angry.
Where is the current peacock problem now? What are we living with?
Well, you get out in the morning and they sound like screeching cats, and you can't get out. And sometimes you can't even drive out your own driveway because they're fanning.
So what do you have to hose?
And if you do move your vehicle, they jump onto your car and they'll scratch and gouge it the whole lot.
God.
So you have to go out there with food and entice them out of your driveway so you can at least leave.
So what food are you using to get the peacocks out of your driveway every morning?
It's bread normally, but they love vegetables. They love anything that they can peck at.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, do you have to hose down the joint all the time with the poo?
Unfortunately, constantly. They destroy your garden. It's incredible.
But remember that first time you saw him fanning out his feathers? How majestic. And you want it every day? You've got it every day.
Oh, Well, I asked for that, didn't I?
Can I say, this has been the most enjoyable phone call I've had for a very long time.
Robert, you and your whole family are a joy.
I want more people to call, and I want their wives in the seat laughing their heads off.
Hey, Robert, for you and the family, we've got $150 for thanks to KFC. Now, you need to eat
in
this in front of the peacocks.
Yes.
Warning.
A cautionary tale.
You taste better crumbs.
Should have seen these birds' feathers, I'd say.
Maybe I should show the peacocks what will happen if they continue doing this.
Exactly. Do it.
With the KFC.
KFC, mate.
Yeah, you'll end up
Love
in a bucket, say to them.
Robert, thank you. You've been a joy,
your
an
family.
absolute joy. Thank you.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey, I was watching Channel 10 News last night, and there's this story where I didn't know anything about it beforehand. It's about an old man, right? So this is it, an old man.
Yes.
And he's got his past, and he's got a lot of money, and it's about where the money went. Okay. Now I've split the story up into two halves. Right. Okay. So here is the first half of the story.
So when they found out Bruce Holman had left his entire fortune to the club, they only had one question. Who's Bruce?
We had a photo of Bruce that we put on one of our newsletters and said, does anyone remember bringing this gentleman to our club, please?
Their benefactor visited the club once on a new membership day in 2019.
It must have been a great day. Terrific.
The thing that was missing from that was it's a bowls club.
It's a bowls club.
So
he visited
left
the club.
all his money to a bowls club that he wasn't a member of.
He was there on
He went to open day.
an open day and for one day, and then left them over $1 million.
God.
So be happy about that. That buys a lot of shandies, doesn't it, Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not wrong.
What's the going rate at a bolo?
Jeez. For a pint these days, paying about $7.
Yeah. Oh.
So,
It's cheap as.
are you ready for the twist?
Yeah.
Here we go.
But 10 minutes down the road, the Doncaster Bowls Club had some questions. Bruce had been a member there for 15 years, but snubbed them in his $1 million estate. He'd hired a lawyer to raise concerns over the accuracy of his will, but Bruce's lawyer has told 10 News First his client's wishes were clear.
It was only about 3 months later he changed his will. His words were to the solicitor because of the friendliness of our club.
So he changed it. He absolutely
Somebody got him
snubbed him.
offside. Somebody
You
got
hear
him
this in
offside.
families, right? Obviously, you're out of the will. He's in number one.
Yep.
This is a bowls club that he'd been a member 15 years.
So now it's been reported there's speculation from club members that Bruce had been unhappy with the people from Doncaster, and he did this as payback.
That's so funny, though. What a way. How vengeful, beyond the grave, you're getting back at somebody that wronged you.
I love it. So there, anyway, the John Vale Bowls Club, they're very excited.
I bet they are.
They are putting on a new roof.
Great work.
Yeah, it's so
got
funny.
in-
The Bruce
indoor-
Holman Memorial
indoor
roof.
It was
And
so
everyone's like,
funny.
who was he?
It was so funny. When they first got the donation from him, they were going, "Does anyone know who this guy is?"
Hilariously random. Sorry.
Very vengeful.
Did he have family?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, right,
I
okay.
don't think he did.
Because also, if he snubbed them to give it to a bowling club that he never went to, that's
Yeah,
pretty telling
so
too,
funny.
isn't it?
Isn't it? Oh,
I
my
mean,
God,
think
Bruce.
about that when you're writing your will. Who can you get back at?
Yeah.
That's what you should be thinking about.
I think so too.
You know.
Who can you bitch slap from the grave?
Yeah.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
The end of an era for our little team here at the Nathan, Nat and Shaun show.
Can I
For
tell you,
sure.
we are going to be so parched because whenever we have been in the need of a tall drink of water,
We've
there's been
always-
one right in front of us with a curly straw, and his name is Harry Fitzgerald.
Big H.
Harry.
It's time, guys.
Now, you're leaving us for bigger and better things. You're going on to pursue the Kick It Forward TikTok account and...
Yeah, and the podcast as well.
Podcast,
Don't
yeah.
worry. Yeah.
Just another social media star coming out of this team. That's not us. What is this? But why?
It's a factory.
We are. If you want to, and I'm being honest, anyone listening right now, and I'm looking straight into the social media. If you want to become a success in whatever field, make sure you work with us for a couple of months because what happens is you go off into your dreams, and we stay here.
We're what's known as the launch pad.
And we do the same
And
thing.
Harry's, I mean,
day
it took
in,
more than a few
day
months,
out.
but you got there in the
It
end,
did
did
take
fella?
it did take a few months. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that on the side. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
Now, there were a few things you wanted to do before you left, right?
There's a couple of there's a bit of unfinished business. So of course, each morning I come in nice and early and we organise some grabs for what might be coming up that day.
it's Nathan and Harry's special time.
That's it.
Oh.
There was one from about how long ago was it? 3 months? So?
Yeah, maybe that we never got to play.
We never got to play it.
Yeah.
Do we want to give the context? Do you remember the context?
I remember the context. Why don't you play the grab, and then we'll see if you guys can remember. Let's get our boss David over here. He's in the building. David, we're going to play a grab, and you're going to guess the news story that this grab went to. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Play it again, Harry. So that's I'm a trout.
I have no idea.
Do you remember a story where a man and a lady were caught
in Tasmania?
Making a video on a boat?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
With
and
a trout?
They used a trout.
Oh, okay. Well, it all makes sense
Unpleasantly,
now, doesn't it?
some might say.
Yeah. We never got to play that. So that was really
exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds deep.
It does, doesn't it?
There was what about the other game we had lined up?
Oh.
We had this other thing lined up.
Well, it was going to be a segment because Harry was really excited.
Oh, yeah.
So what would happen is Harry every morning we would come in and we'd pick a song for the day, and then we would put the film clip up, and then we'd talk about it at length, and then do a deep dive into that person's back catalogue.
Yeah, it didn't take off.
No, we didn't take off because it didn't even start it. But we got the opener, mate.
We did. Here it is.
Harry's hits. Harry's hits. Harry's hits. Harry's hits.
That's you singing and you doing backup?
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks to Zach for that one.
So that would have been a great segment.
When you listen, though, it sounds like you're saying Harry Zitz.
No.
Which is German
Just
for your
you
dog.
talking through your skin infections.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah, it's not
That was
bad.
missed opportunity. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, I know.
Got anything else?
No, not really.
We got
That's
something
it.
for you.
Yeah, we thought
We
we'd
got
go
something.
out with a bang.
We just want to say, Harry, that we are so proud of what you've done, and also the fact that people don't realise this. Harry is the first. He's a trailblazer. He's the first person ever to go from sales, working here in the building, and then coming over to production, and then being on air. It has never been done before, and probably will never be done again.
No,
And dominated,
there's certainly
mate.
no one over there that we'd take now.
Oh, they all just they open their mouths like, nah. We're not putting that on there.
No way.
And Harry, we know you're destined for big things because I went to the footy with you at the MCG a few weeks ago, and the number of people that came up to Harry Fisher and said, "Can I get a photo with you? Oh my God, here's a beer for the international beer drinking champion. G'day, Keith." It just went on
That's
and
Melbourne.
on and on and on.
That is so cool, Harry.
You're a big deal, big fella.
Thank you, Nat.
So the only thing we can do is give you something that you've been harping on for about a year. Bring it in.
Bring it in.
Oh, no, stop
Harry, what have you got?
Is that what I think it is?
It is, Harry.
Is that the chair?
Harry's got his very own Yeti trail chair.
Look at it.
You're just like Brian and Marlene Morris now.
Oh, I need to sit down.
Go sit down in the chair, Harry.
Sit down, Harry.
Go sit down in the chair. How's it? How are you feeling?
Oh, my.
I
Oh,
know.
my God.
I know.
Nice.
It even fits your giant frame.
That's
amazing.
I know. That's a $400 chair.
Oh, God.
We better see that in some videos.
That is a $400 chair. Now, our boss here, Dave McClung,
yes.
is in here, and he's been saying to us, Harry is so important to the building, and he has.
He wanted to make it say a few words.
He had something prepared to say.
You do.
I just said I needed his pass back.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally.
Oh, okay. That's
And you're supposed to walk him out as well. Thank you, Harry. In case you steal some IP off us.
and Harry gets walked out now, doesn't he? All right, Harry.
Can I
Goodbye.
say some things first?
No.
No, God, no one cares.
Please, quickly,
Put it
just
on your podcast.
What do you
No,
want?
just
What do you
thank you
need?
again. Listen to Kick It Forward podcast, of course, but no, thank you to you guys and everyone on the team here. It's been great. It's been a fun place where I've been able to wear shorts to work every day.
Every
So
day.
I haven't really felt like it's been a job. It's always fun coming in here and having like the silliest chats ever. Off air, it is disgusting. You guys, it is gross. It is probably one of the most stressful parts of this job is in case if I leave the microphones on.
He's making sure that the off-air show doesn't get on air.
Yes, the whole station would absolutely crumble. It's been a great 5 years. I've also met my beautiful girlfriend through this show as well.
Ruby used to work here. Actually, it's so funny. If you and Ruby end up spending your lives together, you can play the show. You remember the Harry and Ruby show that was on between 5:30 and 6?
For about a week and a half.
The early show.
The early show is when you started your love.
Not many highlights. But thank you guys. Got some more words for you, but I'll keep it short for our boss Dave here.
So Harry,
checking
he's
it
taking
out.
your pass. You've got to leave.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, okay.
Sam,
Ross.
Sam, our new panel of tags.
Well, doesn't Harry have to still do reheated?
Yeah.
What's that?
Doesn't he have to record reheated?
He was doing it from the car park. They need him out. They need him out, Ross.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, Harry. I know he's already left.
He's
but
gone.
He's gone. We move on.
He took his share anyway.
See you, Harry. We love you.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.